The Lord be with you. Reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. Jesus told his disciples this parable. The kingdom of heaven is like a landowner who went out at dawn to hire laborers for his vineyard. After agreeing with them for the usual daily wage, he sent them into his vineyard. Going out about 9 o'clock, the landowner saw others standing idle in the marketplace, and he said to them, "You too go into my vineyard, and I will give you what is just." So they went off. And he went out at noon and around 3 o'clock and did likewise. Going out about 5 o'clock, the landowner found others standing around and said to them, "Why do you stand here idle all day?" They answered, "Because no one has hired us." He said to them, "You too go into my vineyard." When it was evening, the owner of the vineyard said to his foreman, "Summon the laborers and give them their pay, beginning with the last and ending with the first." When those who had started about 5 o'clock came, each received the usual daily wage. So when the first came, they thought that they would receive more, but each of them also got the usual wage. And on receiving it, they grumbled against the landowner, saying, "These last ones worked only 1 hour, and you have made them equal to us, who bore the day's burden and the heat." He said to one of them in reply, "My friend, I am not cheating you. Did you not agree with me for the usual daily wage? Take what is yours and go. What if I wish to give this last to you? Or am I not free to do as I wish with my own money? Are you envious because I am generous?" Thus the last will be first, and the first will be last. The Gospel of the Lord. So, probably, if we're honest, we can see why those guys who worked all day were grumbling. Well, at least I can. I can understand that. Working all day meant, he says he went out about 9 o'clock. So what time did he go out before that? 6, 7? And then the other guys worked 1 hour, so that meant the workday ended at 6. So these people worked maybe 12 hours, certainly a long day. And the daily wage they agreed upon because, well, it's the usual daily wage. But then the landowner did something unusual, something that they weren't expecting, out of the ordinary. They realized too late, wow, this guy is stupid. He would have given us a lot more. Why did we agree on the usual wage? Maybe that's what they thought. And he is stupid to our way of thinking. Foolish. We've heard that. The world considers foolish the way God acts. Sometimes I do. I think God is foolish. Why do you reward that person? Why do you let that person have all the breaks? Which is never the case, by the way. It always just seems that way. What is it that causes me not to see things the way God does? And it's the first line in the first reading. Remember the first line in the first reading? So long ago. It was like 5 minutes ago. Anybody? Oh, come on. Who read the first reading? You remember, right? He's like, sure, yeah, whatever. Put me on the spot. I remember it. Do you remember the first line of the... I don't, by the way. It's right here in front of me, too. Seek the Lord. Seek the Lord. That's the key. Why do I grumble against God? Why do I think that's not fair? Why do I think it should be different? Because I'm not seeking the Lord. That's it. That's it. Every time that I am upset, it's because I'm not seeking the Lord. Because if I'm seeking the Lord, that means I'm seeking in what's happening the presence of God. And what is God telling me? And in the parable, the landowner makes it clear, you're just envious of the way I'm because you're not that generous. It's true. I mean, it never would have entered my head to think I'm going to give a guy who works 1 hour the same as a guy who works 12 hours. Never entered my head, ever. That just doesn't work, right? That's not an economic model that's going to go ahead, right? That ain't going to work. But I'm not seeking the Lord. Seeking myself, my comfort, what I want, what I think is right. If I'm seeking the Lord, then I'm happy that this person is getting so much. Because like the Lord, I'm thinking of that person and not me. See, the only one who doesn't seek the Lord, so to speak, is God's not looking out for God. God's looking out for me. God's concerned about me. And problems come into my life when I'm concerned about me and not others. Did it even enter into our heads to rejoice like those guys who got 1 hour, worked an hour and got the daily wage? They were probably rejoicing, right? Wow! We didn't expect this. And instead of saying, wow, that's great for you. Awesome. That's so wonderful. Grumble, grumble. How come you got that? That's not fair. Of course it's fair. Like the landowner said, it's my money. God would say, it's my creation. It's my world. I made it all. It belongs to me. Doesn't belong to you. It belongs to me. Can I do what I want with that which belongs to me? I think we'd agree on that, right? Oh, I don't want people coming around touching my stuff. Right? Wait, that's mine. Those are my glasses. Well, you can have the glasses, by the way. Wish I didn't have to have them. That's it. Like the Lord, seeking that which the other needs, their comfort, their joy. And when that's realized, then I'm happy. Not when I have what I want. See, that's me seeking me. And that's going to lead to grumbling, necessarily, because I'm not going to get what I want. Hopefully. I need to get what God wants. That's seeking the Lord. The next line that comes after that, that's what makes me tremble. Makes me say, oh, wait a minute. You didn't remember the first one, you're not going to remember that one, right? So, maybe you will. Seek the Lord while he may be found. There you go. See, you knew it. While he may be found. That means there is a time when he will not be able to be found. Disturbing. Wish it weren't true. But there it is. So it better not waste today. Grumbling, thinking about me, seeking my comfort, what I want, what's important to me. Better start seeking the Lord right now. Because maybe tomorrow he won't be found. This is something that we need to always remember. Not to frighten us necessarily, but to keep us on edge, as it were, right? Ready to go at any moment. I have to make sure I'm seeking the Lord. No resting, no laying back saying, oh, well, maybe tomorrow. No, right now. I have to make sure I'm seeking the Lord. And again, That means seeking what the other needs, seeking the good and joy of the other. That's what God does. That's what we're called to do. We ask the Lord to open our hearts and minds so that we can have that vision of our world, always looking to what the other needs and knowing that God will take care of me.